Hey everybody. Today is FOMC and I wanted to just go over a few pointers and tips to trade it if you are going to trade it. Okay. Um, FOMC is pretty volatile, as most of us know. You can get run over if you're on the wrong side of the trade, but there are a few things that you can do in order to better prepare yourself and not feel like you're, just taking trades like a madman, like just trying to hop in because it's going up or trying to short it because it's going down. So let me give you a few tips on how I like to trade it. Typically, I can usually catch a big chunk of the move. So um, this is kind of how I go about it and what I look for. So number one is zones. Zones still work. So if you can find, like 15-minute zones or something prior to, so I would scan the market prior to FOMC and mark out any zones that the day created. So you got something down here we bounced at. That was a good zone. But basically, just so this is on July 6th. This is the last time that we had an FOMC where Powell spoke. And so that's the difference here. And that's kind of something I'm going to go into. But prior to FOMC, I don't personally play the morning because it usually looks something like this shit. Like you just can't trade it. It's not tradable. So I take the morning off as I am right now. I just woke up and then I'm making this video and then I'm gonna go to the gym and then I'll come back about an hour before FOMC, mark out my zones and get ready. But step one would be mark out your zones from the morning price action. A lot of times these zones are where price is going to bounce at. Like right here, you can see. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is normally I trade off the 15-minute chart. I would highly suggest using the 5 and the 15 for FOMC. And this is because FOMC just moves so quickly. There's like 5-minute candles can be 100 points at sometimes. So if you're waiting for the 15-minute to close, then it's probably a little late. So I would suggest going down to the 5. Okay. The next thing I do is do not trade the reaction right when the data comes out. Okay, I know it's really hard not to because price just starts flinging up and down. But look at these first 3 5-minute candles after the last data, or last after the data on July 6th. You get kind of like a doji, a big shooting star, and a big hammer. This is pure chop. I mean, maybe you can scalp, a couple minute move like this going up or something, but other than that, honestly, I would just avoid the first 30 minutes roughly. Okay. So don't trade the data release. Trade when Powell is about to speak. That is going to be the real move, and he's going to dictate where the market goes. Okay. So we avoid the first, 20, 25 minutes. Now we look for volume signals, okay? And here is a great one. And this one, I guarantee that you could see forming before it even closed because the volume is so high. Now this happens before Powell or right when Powell is starting to speak, okay? This is the real move. This is what you want to catch. So you notice down here, we hit this zone, right? We're in it. We break the lows right here on this 5-minute candle. You can see we broke the lows by just a few points, and then we started to rally. For me personally, I probably would have got long right above the high of this candle because I know we're coming out of a zone here. I want to see momentum come to the upside, and I want to see us breaking highs and making new candle highs. So if you were to enter there, you could get a really good fill right here, put your stop under the low. Still about a 50-point risk, right? And then at that point, once you're in, if it's going in your favor, let it ride because the momentum is going to be huge and you're going to be able to catch a huge chunk of the move. If you get in here and this starts coming back down or it pushes up and starts coming back to break even, personally, I would just cut it. I'm not looking to hold through a stop loss on FOMC because those can get blasted through within seconds. You're going to know if you're right on the trade basically within the first 10 to 30 seconds, I would say. Because if you get in here and you close up here, you know you're good. Just ride the momentum. So use the 5 minute on your zones when Powell begins to speak and look for the volume to pick up and the momentum to shift one way or the other. Okay. Then you can manage from the 15 minute. You get this big volume spike. So see how early the 5 minute could get you in versus waiting for the 15 minute. If you waited for the 15 minute to close, you would be missing out on 50 points. Okay. So then I would just use the 5 and the 15 to manage the trade. Look for those volume spikes to get out. Now this one didn't actually have a spike at the high, which is kind of interesting. But if you're holding through spikes, you're catching at least like the meat of this move right here. So even if you go there, that's about 125 points. Like I would definitely be looking to scale some. And since we weren't getting volume spikes on the 15, except for here, maybe you'd scale there and then ride your runners out. So if you scaled there, it's about 100 points, 93 points. And this is actually a pretty small FOMC move because I've seen moves on FOMC that are 300 points plus on NQ. So, but that's mostly it. So, and then just kind of ride the momentum. Once it starts to slow down, maybe like the spreads get a lot smaller, then start scaling. But definitely look for those volume spikes like we normally look for on the 15 minute to take profit. So I would say 5 minute to get in, looking for the volume signals at zones when Powell speaks, not at 2 p.m. Eastern, more around 2:30, and then look to just ride it. If you're right on the trade, you're going to know pretty much right away because the momentum is going to be big, fast, and it's going to move quick. So if you're not, just cut it really fast. You can keep your losses really small. And then if it flips on you, then end up going short, because you can be wrong on the first move of this, say that I took a short, maybe I shorted like the break of this down here and then it started getting bought up. So I said, oh shit, like I shorted the lows basically. We got bought back up. So I close here and I buy. This one candle already has me in the green. So I wouldn't be scared to go for it and go for what you're seeing. But usually the 5 minute will give you a pretty good idea on where price is going to go. Okay. So that's kind of my advice. Take the morning off. Look for zones that form in the morning because we most likely are going to bounce off of these or old zones that we already have. Let's see what price is doing right now. Yeah, we're just chopping like a motherfucker. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for zones. There's actually a nice zone right here. It's on the 15 though, but yeah, so it's definitely going to get interesting. Keep your head on a swivel and we'll get it. So thanks for watching. I hope that helps. Hope you guys catch part of the move today. Let's do it.